Hello, everyone. I'm Garcia. I'm the digital assets and tokenization lead at Kaleido. Today, we're going to be demonstrating the launch of the Guardian Wholesale Network, a new network that has been launched this week. And we're also going to give some announcements on the new privacy project that has been launched as well within the Linux Foundation. First of all, I will start just explaining what Kaleido is, so that everyone has an overview of what we are. So Kaleido is a business blockchain cloud that was formed 7 years ago with a very direct objective, which was making digital assets and Web3 very simple for enterprises. As I said, we as a company were launched several years ago. The company was founded by a team of 4 people that were coming from IBM. They were the founders of the IBM Blockchain Lab. And in 2017, that's when they decided to just kind of like get up from IBM spin-off and create Kaleido. So Kaleido at that time was founded with an investment from Consensus. And since then, as you can see here, we have been launching more and more protocols and investing in a lot of technologies. Both private permission as well as public permissionless methods. We initially started working with the big cloud providers like AWS, like Microsoft Azure, working with the managed services on blockchain. And since then, we have been including more and more protocols into the stack. They're different there. Some of them are very known within this booth. You may see names like Hyperledger Vesu, like Hyperledger Firefly. We're also offering connections to other public permissionless networks, EVM related, that are publicly well known, such as Ethereum Mainnet, Polygon, Avalanche, etc. This year, we have been improving our services more and more with the launch of the V3 node running service, and we have also launched the connection to the Canton network. I think that this slide clearly explains why Kaleido offers a differentiating service compared to others in the market. Kaleido is a unique fit-for-purpose company because we offer a lot of services related to blockchain, not just managed service, but we offer blockchain services that can be set up in each cloud provider, in-house, on-prem for our clients. We offer a complete full-house digital service that covers from the chain infrastructure layer to the Web3 middleware layer to also the digital assets platform covering tokenization services. We are a trusted company that works with all the big global corporations across many different industry services. We cover financial institutions, healthcare, and many other different industries. We are also one of the first, and we consider ourselves the first enterprise blockchain provider. We are SOC 2 Type 2 certified, ISO 27K certified, meaning that we are certified to offer production-grade services to all of our enterprise clients. One of our commitments as a company, and as one of the main reasons why we're here, is because we are committed to open standards. That means that all the software that we provide is based on open source software, as I mentioned before, based on software that many people know from here, like Hyperledger Vesu, Hyperledger Firefly, etc. And we offer services that accelerate the path to our clients so that they can reach production in a very streamlined way. One of the main reasons why we believe that Kaleido offers a very differentiated service compared to other companies is because on the enterprise and on the blockchain world, we differentiate between what we call the first-gen projects. Those were these projects that took a lot of years to be developed. They were very expensive. They were very struggling to achieve an ROI. And now what we're offering for our clients is what we call the next-gen blockchain projects. Here we have a lot of examples to explain, but I think that one that clearly shows benefits that we offer as a company is our collaboration with Swift on the CBDC pilots, both on phase one and phase two, which were really, really important in the sense that we're given a completely differentiated service to this first gen projects. This means that we were able to deliver projects in a very short time frame. We are offering this using harder products. It's way cheaper to use these products compared to building all the software in-house. And we can offer successful business outcomes very easily. Using the Swift example, in this case, we managed to deliver the project in 4 months' time. It was a project that involved 38 banks. Amongst them, we had 11 central banks. We were able to manage 4 different use cases across the entire industry, covering from BVP, PVP, trade finance, as well as liquidity management. We were able to cover different protocols. So we were doing interoperability across these protocols that were covering Hyperledger Fabric, Hyperledger Vesu, as well as all 3 core. And all of that was interconnected using Hyperledger Fabric. And the good thing about this, it was that it was all delivered on time, on budget, something that within this industry is very difficult to find. As part of Paladin and just getting more into what we have delivered throughout this week and we're announcing here at Singapore FinTech Festival, we have been able to deliver what we call Kaleido's Interoperability Studio, which is an application that we've built on top of our software stack and that is currently powering the Guardian wholesale network. As you can see here, the Kaleido Interoperability Studio is an application that we have built on top of all the software stack that we have that goes from the chain infrastructure components, everything managing the different protocols, how you connect to these protocols, and the Web3 middleware, everything that is connected through Hyperledger Firefly, managing the data orchestration, managing the transaction management, nonce management, gas management, event boss, event indexing. So it's a very complex Web3 middleware stack. And also the digital asset management, which is a policy engine that allows you to manage and model assets, both mixing on-chain and off-chain data. The main benefit that the Digital Asset Studio has brought to the Guardian Wholesale Network is that it has allowed them to get quickly into the testnet, which is something that was very, very helpful for them because in just 1 month time, we have been able to deploy all the infrastructure across 5 different members and start testing 3 different use cases that I will just discuss straight away. But the main key features that I wanted to showcase here is that this software allows our clients to get live quickly. It really eliminates the vendor lock-in because, as I said before, we're based on open source software and it's leveraging public pre-built accelerators. Meaning we're coming with pre-built standards, Ethereum contracts like ERC20s, ERC1400s that are already there for them to start creating their own assets. As I said, as part of the Guardian wholesale network, we have been helping 5 different banks on testing on the live testnet 3 different use cases that are composable against each other. So as probably most of you know, currently on Guardian there are 3 different work streams, one based on fixed income, another one based on FX, and another one based on asset and wealth management. Throughout these years, these different work streams have been releasing different use cases that were separated across each other. Each of them were being tested in different infrastructures, so none of them could be start playing around together and start assessing what are the benefits of using a common infrastructure, a common layer across them. So within the Guardian hosted network, we have been able to provide them an infrastructure and a technology for them to start using all use cases across the same infrastructure. So that means that we had, on the fixing layer, we had bonds being issued and transacted across the many different roles. We could do repos within those bonds. On the cash side, we had tokenized cash in different forms and using different currencies and doing FX trades across those assets. And on the fund side, we had a complete life cycle with the funds. So we were able to issue funds, manage the life cycle of funds with dividend payments, as well as doing secondary trading within those funds. And all these use cases were composable against each other because you could use the cash on one side as a currency to buy bonds or as a currency to buy funds. All of this was powered by Hyperlayer Firefly, which was the Web3 middleware powering all the infrastructure. And also everything was based on a private permission chain, which was Hyperlayer Vesu. Some of you may see here a new icon that maybe some of you, which is the Paladin programmable privacy, which is a new announcement that we made yesterday as a new Hyperlayer lab with a new Linux Foundation Decentralized Trust lab, and that I'll be announcing a little bit more later. As part of the network architecture that was using the Guardian hosted network, as you see there, I talked about 5 members. So we had 5 guys interacting within the network: HSBC, Standard Chartered, we also had UOB, we had Schroders, and we also had MAS participating within the network. So all of these members had their own infrastructure. This means their own Hyperlayer Firefly and their own data studio, so that they could test the different use cases within the roles that they were provided within the network. And now we're moving more into Paladin, which is kind of like doing a small brief on the big announcement that was made yesterday on Paladin, a programmable currency framework for EVM. So Paladin is a very new Linux Foundation Decentralized Trust labs that was announced yesterday that brings a completely new paradigm in terms of programmable privacy for the EVM framework. As you see here, Paladin comes as a fully featured framework that adds a lot of components within the privacy layer. It comes with privacy preserving tokens, comes with private EVM contracts. We have different frameworks around the tokens that cover both notarized tokens as well as zero knowledge-based tokens. It comes as well with a programmability and atomicity framework that I will explain a little bit more in detail with the DBP use case, as well as all the components that comes with the software that we provide at Kaleido. Is fully enterprise ready, meaning can be used for all the production use cases our clients have in mind. And it's very simple and pluggable with all the different components that everyone is thinking. So it's really pluggable with a lot of like transports, private data transports, can be used across many different wallets, can be used across many different protocols. And the main reason why you see the EVM at the bottom and not just one particular protocol is because it can be used with any unmodified EVM. So this is something that is very, very new to the industry, not just being used with Hyperlayer Vesu, can be used as well with other permissionless networks that are using unmodified EVM. I think that we could spend probably 3-4 hours explaining what Paladin explains to this, and if people is interested in understanding what Paladin brings, we're doing a full deep dive on Paladin this Friday at City. They are hosting an event for us that's only 3 hours, so just come after the session and we can fully explain what this is. And if I had to use one slide that really explains what Paladin is, it's a completely new framework to address privacy on the EVM space that addresses business workflows in one separate layer from the transaction privacy handled on different tokens. And people that work in the space might find this completely new compared to what they've seen in the past. Probably people know all the praise like Tessera that was used in hyperledger Vessu, which was a framework to address privacy at the workflow layer. And this was something that was completely separate from the token economy. So with Paladin, we're just bringing together a complete framework that joins the business workflows as well as the token economy together within the same enterprise-grade framework. And another thing that is really, really important on the token economy and transaction privacy is that we're bringing optionality with tokens. That means that we're providing different technologies available to use different privacy frameworks within tokens. So we're providing what we're calling zero here, which is a newly zero knowledge-based token framework to use it within the framework, as well as Node, which is using an authorized pattern similar to what probably other folks have seen on Canton or Coda-based frameworks. And another important thing is that within the privacy group, we're bringing together what we're calling the EVM smart contract, privacy contracts, because they are using Solidity in native language to program all this functionality. So this means that we're bringing full programmability across the EVM framework without having to go into specific languages. You can still use your native Solidity programming framework. And just to close this section on Paladin, I think that this slide really showcases one of the big issues that we've seen within the industry in trying to address privacy. And I think this is one of the main topics that we covered within the Guardian Holstein network when trying to address privacy with real business transactions. And one of the things we've seen with this is that on previous frameworks, when we were trying to address privacy, we were creating a lot of like privacy groups, etc., to try to cover workflows. But those workflows were completely separated to the token economy that I was referring to before. So you wouldn't have the ability to connect that privacy group with a specific smart contract that was referencing a cash token, an ERC20, or a bond token that was referencing, for example, an ERC 1400, 13643. So what you're seeing here is an explanation of a truly atomic DVP transaction that is using private tokens both on the cash side and also on the security side. So what you see here is how Paladin works in a very simplistic way, in a sense on, for example, how would we trigger a DVP transaction on a bond issuance, right? So first of all that we will need to create is a privacy group between the issuer and the custodian. And this is something really, really important because you need to make sure that the issuer has a custodian that determines how the bond is going to be distributed across the investors. There are specific characteristics of the bond that the custodian needs to know. So there's important data that needs to be shared between the issuer and the custodian. So that data can be created using traditional Solidity smart contracts and in a specific smart contract and a specific EVM private group. But there's also a token transaction that needs to happen, right? Because at the end of the day, the custodian needs to send some transactions and both some bond tokens to the investors, right? So there's also a token transfer that needs to happen there. But that token transfer, as I just mentioned, is happening between the custodian and investors. So there's also a commercial relationship that needs to happen between the custodian and the investors, right? So that means that there's another privacy group that needs to be created between the custodian and investors. So that's a separate commercial relationship that needs to be modeled with specific private data. And again, everyone that knows about what we're talking about is DBP is a delivery versus payment transaction. We are not exchanging just bonds. We're exchanging bonds against cash. So that cash also needs to be modeled, right? It's a separate bond, a separate token transfer that is happening. So all of these transactions are happening atomically at the EVM-based layer. And when I mention atomically, it means that they all happen or neither of them happen. And all of this can be modeled within Paladin. And this is something that is truly new happening within the EVM framework. And we're very, very excited to discuss it with our clients. And as I mentioned before, it's coming with the Guardian hosting network that we are announcing this week. And everyone who's really interested in understanding what we're doing with the Guardian hosting network, this is going to be a panel at the main stage today at 5:30. So we are inviting everyone who's really interested in understanding what's happening with the Guardian hosting network today. And also everyone who's really interested in understanding what Paladin is and what's bringing into the ecosystem. We're going to be here to help everyone. And as I mentioned before, there's also going to be a technology deep dive happening this Friday. So we're very excited about it, and thank you everyone for being here.